Okay, actor friends, today we're going to talk over a little something that I really think you should avoid on set because it just gets awkward for everybody. So for those of you who haven't met, I'm Spurgeon Perkins, and I've been working professionally as an actress for this past year, and I have had this happen to me on set before, and I have read a story about it happening to someone in an audition that's a actor that books, and it got awkward. So let's try to avoid it, and I'm going to tell you what to do instead, so you're not focused on what not to do, but you're focused on what to do. Okay, so if you are on set and you ever hear one of the primary actors, not communicating well with the director, like somehow there's a communication gap and there's confusion in some way, I really think it's good for us to resist the temptation as fellow actors to intervene or to try to explain. And I think a lot of people try to do it out of a heart of being helpful and supportive, but it can come across as a mindset of, I could do this better. Okay, or like I get it and they don't. And for the actors that I know, that is not the case. They really are just trying to be helpful and supportive, or would be in that situation, I would think. But regardless, you don't really have the opportunity to explain yourself, right? And it's not only going to make it awkward for that actor who's already kind of in this communication blunder, but it will make it awkward for the director too, because it's their job to help the actor get it, and they don't really need help, and they're going to have that position of authority where they have the right to feel that way. So instead of just saying don't do this, like don't intervene, don't try to interact, then I think what could really be helpful is for you to really listen to that conversation, and two things are going to happen. You are going to learn how that director communicates, and how awesome will that be for you if you work with them again in the future. All right, and the second thing is you may learn something from that actor in that communication with that director. There have been so many times in my acting class where I wasn't really sure how to phrase questions or how to respond to something my acting coach was saying. I wasn't sure if it was rhetorical. And then I realized from some of the other veteran actors in the class that he really was just trying to have a conversation, right? He wanted to bounce ideas back and forth to help get us to a place. So you may learn from that fellow actor of yours on set, what is okay to ask this director? Where is it okay to push in and ask for more detail? Or you might learn what not to do. Like if they communicate in a way that really ticks that director off, then okay, that was a bad idea and I shouldn't do that. The only thing I would say, in addition to all of this, is that unless that actor knows you and actually comes up to you on set and talks to you and says man, that got really awkward. What should I have done? What would you have done? And they actually ask for your advice, then be ready with some constructive criticism. And I can talk more about how to give criticism constructively. I had really great training on this in college in my theater department. But for the most part, if you just want to learn a little more right now, you can look up the sandwich method if you've never heard of that. But anyways, yeah, so that's all I would say is don't intervene unless that actor comes to you when they're not talking to the director anymore and actually asks for your advice. And just focus, listen, concentrate on what's being said, learn something about that director, and learn something from that actor about the communication that has taken place. So if you have any great communication tips, then be sure to comment below and let me know. Or if you have had an aha moment on set when you were communicating with a director, and maybe you realize I did an acting class, I didn't even know that I could, kind of venture into this area and ask these questions. Or just something that you have seen a director not like, or something that a director's really loved when you've communicated with them on set, then comment below, let your fellow actors know. Don't name names, especially if it's something negative, and I will see you guys next week. Oh yeah, I told you guys, the finish button is awkward for me every time.